Kia ora, and welcome to Friday's Economy Watch, where we follow the economic events and trends that affect New Zealand. I'm David Chaston, and this is the international edition from interest.co.nz, and today we lead with news of some notable and sudden rises in freight rates. But first, US jobless claims came in lower last week than expected at 197,200 in a holiday-affected period. Seasonal factors had expected a lesser decrease. There are now 1.7 million people on these benefits nationally. A year ago, there were 1.66 million on them. And the November job cut tracking shows it was less than in October, coming in for the latest month at 77,000. That ends a string of outsized monthly cutbacks, although it is 24% higher than year-ago levels. In fact, it's only the sixth time since 1993 that it's at a year-to-date level that's been higher than 1.1 million. And the 2025 level is now the highest since the pandemic. And there was also catch-up data out overnight for US factory orders for September. They were little changed from August, but were 5.3% higher than year-ago levels. They are still struggling to recover official stats, and no revised data is available for their October and November updates. Meanwhile, the New York Fed's tracking of the Global Supply Chain Pressure Index shows it is easing. Their index was down in November, weakening from October. The index reflects deviations in global supply chain conditions relative to its historical average, with negative values indicating below average pressure. And EU retail sales were up 1.6% from a year ago in volume terms in October, better than the expected 1.2% gain. But that was a slowing in their retail expansion from what they'd had for most of 2025. And in Australia, household spending rose 5.6% in October from the same month a year ago, and that was its fastest rise since November 2023. It was up 1.3% from September alone, its fastest pace since January 2024 on that basis. Spending on all categories except fuel and health costs rose notably in the month. This data adds to the chance the RBA will be raising rates in 2026. And global container freight rates rose 7% last week from the prior week, ending the recent three-week retreats. Outbound rates from China to the US and to Europe rose while transatlantic rates dipped. Overall container freight rates are now 45% lower than year-ago levels. Also rising, and even more sharply, were bulk cargo rates, up 18% from a week ago, and these rates are now 132% higher than year-ago levels. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now at 4.10%, up 3 basis points from yesterday, and the price of gold will start today at $4,209 an ounce, down $9 from yesterday. But American oil prices are 50 cents firmer at just over $59.50 a barrel, while the international Brent price is now just under $63.50 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar is little changed from yesterday, now just over 57.7 US cents. Against the Aussie, though, we're down 10 basis points at 87.3 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're up 10 basis points at 49.5 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just under 62.2 and little change from yesterday. And the Bitcoin price starts today at $92,607 and virtually unchanged from this time yesterday. Volatility over the past 24 hours has been modest at just over plus or minus 1.1%. You can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again on Monday.